Ezekiel's UFO, the ancient secret behind the wheels within wheels. The hook, the NASA theory. In 1974, a top NASA engineer named Joseph Blumrich published a book that shocked the world. He claimed that the prophet Ezekiel didn't see a vision of God. He saw a landing craft from another planet. He even patented a new type of omnidirectional wheel based on the biblical description. For decades, the wheels within wheels have been the smoking gun for the ancient astronaut theory. But what if the truth isn't out in the stars? What if the real UFO of Ezekiel is actually a piece of psychological warfare, a divine middle finger to the most powerful empire on earth? Today, we are deconstructing the most famous encounter in history. We're moving past the sci-fi tropes to reveal the gritty, political, and terrifying reality of Ezekiel's vision. The sighting, harder than sci-fi. Let's look at the flight data. Ezekiel is sitting by a canal in Babylon, modern-day Iraq. Suddenly, a massive storm cloud approaches from the north, glowing like molten metal, electrum. Inside the cloud, four entities. And next to them, the famous wheels. The appearance of the wheels was like the gleaming of beryl, as it were a wheel within a wheel. Ezekiel 1 verse 16. To a modern ear, this sounds like a drone or a gyroscopic landing gear. But in 593b, wheels within wheels didn't mean technology. It meant something far more radical. To understand what Ezekiel was actually looking at, we have to look at the street art of ancient Babylon. 3. The debunking. It's not a spaceship, it's a throne. Here is the inside scoop. Ezekiel was a priest in exile. He was surrounded by Babylonian propaganda. Everywhere he looked, he saw the king of Babylon being carried on a Merkaba, a divine chariot throne. The four faces? They weren't alien biosuits. They were the four cornerstone signs of the Babylonian zodiac and the guardians of the royal palaces. By describing God on a chariot with these specific creatures, Ezekiel wasn't reporting a UFO landing. He was shouting a political manifesto. He was saying, your Babylonian gods aren't the ones in charge of the wind and the stars. My God is the one driving the chariot over your heads. The wheels covered in eyes? Visuals. Macro shot of a wheel covered in literal human eyes. In ancient Near Eastern art, eyes were a common symbol for the stars. Ezekiel was seeing a cosmic chariot, a throne that moves through the constellations. The physics, why the omni-wheel matters. People love the NASA engineer's theory because the geometry works. A wheel within a wheel can move in any direction instantly. But for Ezekiel, this wasn't about propulsion. It was about omnipresence. In the ancient world, gods were local. If you left your country, you left your God. But Ezekiel's craft could move in any direction, north, south, east, west, without turning. The message to the Jewish exiles was revolutionary. God isn't stuck in a temple in Jerusalem. He has wheels. He's mobile. He followed you into the refugee camp. The UFO was actually a symbol of hope for a displaced people. It's the first all-terrain God in history. The silent night of Babylon, the atmosphere. We often imagine this vision happening in a vacuum. It didn't. Ezekiel was a refugee. He was traumatized. The vision was loud. It was terrifying. It smelled like ozone and desert dust. When we turn this into a sterile alien encounter, we lose the human element. This was a man trying to make sense of a world that had been set on fire. He didn't see an extraterrestrial. He saw the extra-dimensional king of a universe reclaiming his throne in the middle of a pagan empire. The conclusion: why truth is better than fiction. Why does it matter if it wasn't a spaceship? Because a spaceship is just hardware. A chariot throne is a claim. Ezekiel's vision tells us that even in the darkest, most alien moments of our lives, there is a driver in the wheels. You don't need a telescope to find the truth of this story. You need a history book and an open mind. Now, I want to hear from you. Does the political chariot explanation make more sense to you than the alien craft theory? If you were a refugee in 593b, would this vision terrify you or comfort you? Let's debate it in the comments. Keep it civil, but let's get into the weeds. Don't forget to like if you want more biblical declassifications. Subscribe and hit the bell. Next week, we are investigating the Nephilim and whether the giants of Genesis actually left behind physical evidence. Thanks for watching. Keep looking up, but keep your feet on the ground.